So, Wali, tell me, why did you start Aylabs and what do you guys do?
So we started Aylab because we saw a big problem in Web3. There were amazing projects that were struggling to grow real users. So not just followers or hype, but wallets, transactions, on-chain engagement. And without that, it's really difficult to grow your token price in a sustainable way. So the marketing wasn't translating to demand. Tokens, they would launch, spike, and drop. So what's missing was a system to drive real adoption, users who actually interact with your product and hold your token. That's how we built Aylab, to help projects grow users in a way that directly supports token economy. And for that, we do many things.
Tell me about those things now. What are the type of services that you offer? I worked with your team a little bit. I've seen them firsthand, but I really would be great to hear about all the scope of services that you can
Yeah,
offer.
so I'll tell you what's different. I'll give you a lowdown and I'll tell you what's different between us and a marketing agency. So we are fundamentally an ad exchange, but what we do is where most marketing platforms will give you impressions or traffic, we deliver on-chain users. We deliver wallets that interact, transact, and boost your token fundamentals. We don't just run ads. We build funnels. We'll give you Telegram users, Twitter, and we'll also give you on-chain conversions. And we do it at scale. So hundreds of thousands of users per day. So we've got about 50 million monthly active users in our ecosystem. About 25% are from our own apps and dApps, and others from third-party apps where we have our SDK. But what we are doing is we are giving you real users who will go and interact and engage with your product, with your project. Our AI-based algo figures out who's the right user to see your product, and if I'm that user and I have an app which happens to be on the Aylab network, I will see an ad. You like the product, you click on it. It's not, hey, here's some token, go and follow Twitter. Those aren't real users. They will not help you with your end goal. So that's fundamentally what we are doing different.
I see.
So we don't just grow a community, we grow token demand. And that's the ALAB difference.
I see. Yeah. I did see that firsthand. I tried it for the projects that I worked with, and that I'd see that growth in demand and retention. So yeah, I definitely have experienced that when I would try at A Labs. But tell me, what are different kinds of project that use their tools? As in, who are your clients? Who can potentially benefit from this tool?
So we have three types of clients. We have pre-TGE, then we
Mm-hmm.
have post-TGE, and
Mm-hmm.
then one vertical is just exchanges.
Mm-hmm.
The way we segment them like this is pre-TGE, they need hype. They
Mm-hmm.
need Telegram, they need Twitter following, they need to really get themselves out in the market so that they can launch a token. For them, sure, we'll give them huge user base. The MemeCoin project in December, we gave them 4 million Telegram followers, 500,000 Twitter followers, really help them create the hype, build this big community, and help them with their launch. That's PTG. Post-TGE projects have launched a token, but now they need to maintain the token price. They need to ensure the token has value and people are still using it. Because the moment you launch, there's a big dump. So how do you keep demand? So we work with chains. We're working with, for example, one of our big clients, Sui. Last
Mm-hmm.
year, we were the number one project on Sui for most of the year, giving them more 2 million monthly active wallets per month for most of the year. And you can see the token price went from 40 cents to $4.50 in the time we were working with them. I'm not going to take full credit. It's a big ecosystem, but we kind of grew demand by being the biggest project. We were big on Mantle, OPBNB. So those are some of the projects. I work with those gaming projects, DeFi projects. Then on the third side is, for example, Lamina One, another project we are working with right now. It's AVAX L1, where 30% of all trading volume on AVAX L1s was on
Mm-hmm.
Lamina One. And
Mm-hmm.
we are delivering them. We're doing Twitter for them. We're doing building the Twitter, building hype, and we are giving them real users on their chain, which then results in huge volume. And then people also see that there's a lot of stuff happening on this chain, and then that generates demand. So that's some of the stuff we're doing. Finally, it's exchanges. These are this main vertical that actually has product market fit in Web3.
Mm-hmm.
That has an LTV over CAC. Not many types of projects in Web3 actually have an LTV, they just have a CAC.
Yeah.
And then it's a CAC, and then from the CAC, you drive to a token price.
Mm.
The exchanges are the ones that actually have a real product. And we are working, some of our big clients are Bybit, Finance. In the Middle East, we have a couple of Middle Eastern exchanges we are working with. We are doing about 100,000 KYC users per month with these projects. We are also now working with DEXs, the centralized exchanges, self-custody, Web3 wallets, but also with the DEXs themselves. And we don't actually drive trading. That's not
Yeah,
what we
yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah.
We give you real users, and then some of them keep converting because our algo knows who is the most likely user to engage with the product, to trade, etc. So Bybit, for example, we run campaigns where their click-through rate is roughly 12%, with the industry average at 3 to 4%. And this then translates to app installs, wallet creation, trading.
Yeah, I see. So basically, any product, whether you're L1, you're a dApp, you're a wallet, any product that needs real users to come, not only real users, but Web3 native, because we're focusing exactly on this audience, right? I once read that you were calling yourself the Google Ads of Web3, right? Because your network is where you source your audience is actually from the Web3 realm. So this is a great benefit. This is what we struggle with when we want real users. Where do you market yourself? Where do you get traffic from? You don't want to get traffic from Web2 websites. It's irrelevant. Most of the people will not be interested. You're just spending money, right? So your service makes it's much more focused. Which leads me back to the question that when it becomes much more targeted, I did really I did also find that your prices are very reasonable. Maybe you can tell me about those kind of benefits that you actually get when you work with Aylabs in terms of focused users. I need your feedback on prices because I'm as a marketeer, I've seen different services and I see what different services charge, and I did find your price really reasonable. Maybe you also can tell me what more can you somebody benefit from when you're actually using the services with Aylabs.
So, firstly, on the prices are reasonable because, for example, getting users from Google, Facebook, or Twitter, the most people you're reaching out to are not, as you mentioned, Web3 native. So your
Mm,
return on ad spend is not very good because from 100 people, maybe eight are actually your target audience. So you're
okay.
spending money on 100. From those eight, some will then do that, whatever action you want them to do. It's not a very good spend of money because our users are, I will not say all, but 90% plus are Web3. And in that, our AI-based algo, uh, because it has now enough data, it's
Mm,
already figured out who is the right user to show a particular ad to. So Web3 native, even in that, highly targeted, depending on if you're a DeFi project or you're a gaming project or an exchange.
mhm,
So we are really, it's a very highly efficient way so that where 100 people see your ad or a product and maybe one engages with it in Twitter or in web other, for us, it's
mm,
percent roughly will engage. So our cost is less. So we can actually give you much better value. And the other thing we do is we do what we call pay per outcome.
mm,
So for the same reason, it's not that, hey, we're going to do CPM campaigns, that's the only one. No, if you want branding awareness, we'll do CPM. If you want people to go to your landing page, we'll do cost per click.
mhm,
Then for our big clients meaning we have relationships with, we also do install campaigns, creation campaigns, because we are very, very, so meaning that you pay for wallets created, you pay for installs. Even in some cases with our big exchange clients, we also do pay per deposit. They pay
mhm.
us when there's a deposit done because we are very highly confident that we have the right user base. So it's also cheaper for them, it's also cheaper for us. It's cheaper for everybody. So that's fundamentally how it's different. Other thing is we have huge scale. So competitors, if you want 10,000 users, in a couple of weeks, you'll get. If you want 100,000, there's no way. I can give you 100,000 users in a day because
Scale.
I have that scale. So
Yeah.
we are cheap, we are at very high scale, we do pay per outcome, whatever outcome is, and we do multi-channel. So there are some which are only to give you only users for Twitter. Some will give you only Telegram.
Mm-mm.
They will give you Twitter users. We can give you Telegram users. You want app installs, dApp installs, we'll do that. You want you want trading, we can also do that depending on the relationship. That's a bit bottom funnel. So we are multi-channel, multi-outcome, and full funnel. Yeah, so that's the other thing I think which is a bit different.
I think there's one more piece to add to that because what I loved working with your team is that they automate the process for you, right? So you don't get to a point where you have to actually set the campaigns, and in some tools you get access to a tool and you have to set up the campaign yourself. And I don't know how to use the tool. I don't know how to perfect it, you know. But whereas with your team, everything is just done by the team. I just tell them what my intention is, what my focus is, right? And they deliver everything. They do give me an access to a dashboard where I can monitor, but I've never was obliged or put in a situation where I have to do something myself, which makes it very, very efficient, you know. So that was actually also a very comfortable thing.
Thank you for mentioning that. So we have what we call managed service. We have a self-serve
Mm,
platform where you can go create your campaign. It takes 30 seconds. You create campaign, you put your video or banner, 30 seconds, you sell campaign. However, we have managed service where for clients that are spending above a certain threshold, we'll do end to end. And again, the reason being that we'll do end to end, you will see value. And if you see value, you'll do it again the next month and the next month. So our client retention is very, very high. We have about 70% of clients who start a campaign do a second campaign, and they do the second campaign is usually a higher dollar value than the first campaign because, as you said, we have this managed service, and now we also have an A to Z service, which is what we realized. And as you know, Web3 is so fast. Everything changes so fast. 1 year ago, this time around, Telegram wasn't really a big thing.
mm-hmm,
And now it's seen the Telegram's peak has, it reached its peak, and
mm,
now it's slowing down again. So it's very, very fast, everything. Things change. Where people want demand changes. So Q3, Q4 was all Telegram. Everybody's making Telegram bots, Telegram mini apps. They want users for that. Now it's dying down. So you need to constantly evolve with the demands of the market. That's our full funnel. But the A to Z, what I mean is that we are working with clients. So when they say I want to make a Telegram app and I want users for that, I'll give an example. We say, let's take a step back. What's your end goal? And then we build a strategy for them. For end goal, because we work with so many projects which are similar to that client. So we tell
mm,
them for your end goal, we'll build the strategy for you. We build the strategy, we build the go to market, and then we do the go to market. So we almost act like fractional CMOs or the performance marketing team and do the whole thing for them. Because sometimes clients say, I want to do this. And we'll tell them that look, we can do this for you. We'll do it for 1 month, you won't get results. It's not the right thing to do based on our experience. If they insist, sure, we'll do it. But we'll tell them this is not the right thing to do this other thing. So we tell clients, so we're actually doing end to end, where we build the strategy for them, build the go to market for them, and
mm,
execute it and get them results. And the reason being that with some of our clients, we realize that what they want to do is not relevant anymore, or is not the right way to get to their end goal. Somebody says,
mm,
I want Twitter, we'll give them Twitter. Sure. But why do they want Twitter? They want Twitter because they want to do TGE. Okay, for TGE, I'll
yeah.
give you Twitter. It's not going to get you TGE. And then you're going to say it's not working. So you should do Twitter and they do these three other things. And so we give them the plan and we execute it for them. So we're doing end to end. We sometimes we act as fractional CMOs. Sometimes we act as their go-to-market team because a lot of projects they have a product. That's it. I have a product. I don't know what to do.
Exactly. So you cover the whole full service for it, which I think is very important. Is that this is what, as a CMO, I understand myself. When you find engineers and the product technical people, they really have no idea of how to take it to market. They just understand the product, right? And you need to give them the full service rather than just one element of it. And I think it's a very
And
well,
also we've done it.
yeah.
The thing is, the difference is between other, as you mentioned, agencies. We call ourselves a growth engine. So we also, the Google Ads or Web3 is now just one vertical because
Mm,
we've expanded so much in the last, I would say, just this year basically. So it's a growth engine. We help you grow, and the difference with other things, we've actually done it for ourselves because, as I mentioned, 25% of our user base, about 12 to 15 million monthly activists from our own gaming studio. We have multiple games which we build ourselves, we grow them, we have users, we acquire, we retain, we have the mechanism, we have in-game diamonds, we have the whole thing, and we grow in different markets. We've launched token, so we know how that works. We work with L1s to help them. We work with exchanges, so we actually have all this experience of doing it ourselves and
mm.
then executing it for others, not just telling people what to do based on theory.
I see. Yeah, that is wonderful. And indeed, when the new title on your website says that you're the most powerful AI-driven Web3 growth engine,
Just one last thing which I would like to mention is
please do.
that for projects,
Mm.
uh, you're missing real adoption if you're just going after the vanity metrics. The Web3 ecosystem is now, it's evolved from earlier where just vanity gets you there, gets you a token launch, and you have some VC logos, so the retail buys. Now retail is saying, too many VC logos, actually they're gonna dump on me. So my point being, the your retail is getting much more educated, much more aware. Market is maturing. You need real adoption. So vanity metrics, airdrops, farming, fake engagement, short-term pumps don't work for your token anymore. Without real users, there is no lasting traction and no sustained value. So if you don't use Aylab, you're leaving behind the chance to actually build organic token demand through actual use real users. And in
Mm.
this space, what really separates the projects that pop from the ones that last is real, sustainable, organic growth. And that's what we bring.
Yeah, that's golden words. Yeah, we're very right here. Market is changing, and we have to adapt. We have to adapt to the new strategies and new norms. This is exactly what A-Lab is helping companies do. Thank you, Wali. Thank you for this deep dive on A-Labs. It was a pleasure speaking with you and learning
Thank you,
about.
Diana. My pleasure. Thank you for having me.